My name is Valerie Cox. I'm going to be your instructor for your Math 098 mini-term course this semester. And I just want to go over a few things with you to give you some information about the class, and it will just be a good way to help you get started. So let's move on. Here we go. So there I am. I'm sitting in my office in Decatur in that picture. I have an office in Decatur in the Chastain building, which is the second floor of Chastain up near Financial Aid in the Star Institute. I also have an office in Huntsville in the Star Institute, which is Sparkman 305. So that is located next to the Student Center across from the bookstore. So if you're in Huntsville, I'm across from the bookstore. If you're in Decatur, I'm on the second floor of Chastain. The reason I have two offices is because we have two locations for Star Institute. So I kind of go back and forth between the two campuses. This semester, I'm teaching an on-campus class in Huntsville on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I plan to be in Huntsville on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and in Decatur on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Remind later on, but emailing me or texting me is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. My email address is valerie.cox@calhoun.edu. All right, let's talk a little bit about our course. Finding things in Blackboard is going to be very important for you, especially in an online class. I need you to go in and explore the course information tab. Everything that you need to get started as far as my videos for all the sections that we are going to cover in Math 98, they're all located in that course information tab. I'm going to also post a Blackboard video that just kind of goes through Blackboard and shows you, I'm clicking through Blackboard and showing you different things. The announcement tab should always come up first. I send not just one, but probably two announcements a week, so be sure you're paying attention to that. The content area tab is going to be, actually I told you wrong. Course information is going to be all about the course. The content area is where you're going to find the videos. Class notes from other classes. There's a wide variety of information in the content tab. You are going to access your coursework where you do your homework and take your tests in ALEX. And ALEX is a software that we use for Math 98 and Math 100. If you're going to follow me into the Math 100 class in the second mini term, you're going to buy one access code from the bookstore, and that will take you through all your 98 and all your 100 material. You are going to access ALEX through Blackboard, not through the alex.com website. You're going to do it through Blackboard. I have a Blackboard button on the left-hand side, and that's where you click in and get into ALEX. All right, course materials. Everybody always has a question about this. You only need an 18-week ALEX code. There's a 52-week option for Math 098, but you are in a mini term, remember? So you only need the 18-week code because that will carry you from your 98, and if you take 100 with me, that will also take you into your 100 class. So ALEX is the software that's required. It's at the bookstore. You're going to complete your homework via the computer. You'll access all your assignments in ALEX. The videos that you watch would be under the course content for watching videos about those assignments. You will not need a course code when you log in through Blackboard because it automatically knows who you are because you've had to log into Blackboard to get into it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. All right, bookstore information. If you are on financial aid, this is very important. You can charge your books through, let's see, starts August 17th. If you're ordering them online, you can go all the way to the 24th. If you are going into the store, you can charge up to the 27th. What that means is that you charge your books. They look up and verify that you are on financial aid. Then you can get all of your books that you're going to need. And then when you get your financial aid disbursement, you can pay for them. So they only do that during those dates. So go ahead and get your materials once you have seen your teachers and you've talked with them and you know for sure what materials you need. All right, here is my grading plan. We're going to have homework assignments. They're going to count 35% of your grade. We're going to have a discussion, which is going to count 5%. That's going to be posted in Blackboard. That is going to be, it's going to be a slope discussion, and I'll keep you updated on that. We're going to take two exams. They're 35% total for each one. For total. So one of them I think is 10%. No, One of them is 20%, one of them's 15%. The final exam counts 25% of your grade. The final exam is not going to be completely comprehensive. It's going to be heavy on the last part of the course, the last chapter that we cover. I'm still going to put in some things that we cover at the beginning, but it's going to be mainly the last part of the chapter that we cover. I have to do that because this is a mini term and it's so compressed. The grading scale is the same grading scale that you find across campus as far as 90 to 100, 80 to 89, so on. Attendance policy. So logging in for the first week attendance, it is important to look at that first announcement and go through that checklist. You have to do certain things to be marked present during that first week. And if you're on financial aid, that's very important because you could get your financial aid taken away if you do not attend the first week of class and do something constructive, especially in an online class. In an on-campus class, you can be counted because you have shown up for class. But in an online class, we need to see you do something productive. The biggest part of that is to complete the knowledge check in the ALEKS software. When you get into ALEKS, the very first thing you're going to do after you register is take an initial knowledge check. And that's like a pre-test. And it covers the material from the semester. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. But if you do not complete that one especially, you will be marked absent the first week of class. The other things I have you do is join Remind, which is a texting option, so I can text you announcements, and you can ask me questions with Remind. It's a great tool. And then I also have you, let's see, I have you do Remind. I think I have you do a discussion and introduce yourself to the class. During the second week and through the end of the semester, I'm really looking at attendance based on what you're doing in ALEKS. If you are making your due dates and you're not late on things, then I'm not really concerned about your attendance because it's an online class and you can work at your own pace, but you have to make due dates. If you're not making due dates, I'm going to go in there and look, and if you're not spending enough time in ALEKS, then I'm going to start marking you absent, and that could affect your grade later on. Makeup policy. It's important for you to contact me if you're going to miss a due date, especially on a test. I need to be contacted if you have something going on, and I could totally understand people, getting sick, kids getting sick, things can happen. You've got to let me know because I have multiple ways for you to get in touch with me. So you can use Remind, you could use email, various ways to get in touch with me. So the big thing that I want you to know is that communication is the key. I would like you to keep in touch with me and let me know if something occurs that you're going to be late. All right, where can you get help? The first place you're going to get help is from me. During this first week when I have our live orientation sessions, I'm going to be asking you to vote on days that are good for you for question sessions. I host a live question session once a week. I've been doing that for a while with my online classes, and it seems to be very, very helpful. You can log in and you can ask questions. You can also send me questions outside that question time, but that's a good time. You can log in. I can work problems on a whiteboard. It's very easy. I'll be on there as long as you're on there asking questions. But we'll vote on a night, and we'll pick a night that's best for the majority of the students in our class, and we'll go from there. The app that I have you use, Remind, is also a great way to send me questions because you can take pictures of the work that you're doing. You can take pictures of the ALEKS screen. You can send them to me, and you can say, hey, I'm having trouble with this one, and I will probably write it out, show some work on it, see if you're getting started a certain way, and then I'll send that back to you, and that's a really good way to communicate. Now, where else can you get help? Well, you can come to Star Institute, because remember, I'm the director, so I'm going to give you some plugs for Star Institute. I've got great tutors. So I have tutors in all of your gen ed subjects. I have some tutors in some of the technologies. If there's something that you're taking that I don't have a tutor for, we're going to try and work something out and get you some help. We have availability on campus from 9 to 5. So this is the Decatur campus. We're located again on the second floor of the Chastain Student Building. I've got more information on the website, calhoun.edu/star. You can come from 9 to 5 on campus, on either campus. I'll go ahead to the next slide too, because that's giving you the Huntsville campus. You can go on either campus. We're doing virtual and on-campus appointments from 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday. So even if you want a virtual appointment, you can get one during the day, because I've got my staff going into our breakout rooms to facilitate those. In the evenings from 5 to 8, you can get an online appointment. So I don't have on-campus appointments right now from 5 to 8, because we just don't have a lot of night classes coming back yet. When those start coming back more fully, I'll probably add night hours. But you can still get us, because we can do online appointments all the way up to 8 o'clock. Then on Fridays, we're virtual only, because we don't have Friday classes generally on campus. So from 9 to 12 on Friday, you can do a virtual appointment. Those are with my tutors. They're all great. Love them. To make an appointment, you're going to go into your banner system where you can look at your grades and things like that. You should have a track cloud, which is the star icon. You look for the Star Institute icon. You can click on there and get in there and make an appointment, or you can just drop by if you want to come to our physical locations. I've got a video on making appointments on our website, so you can figure out and watch it and show you how to schedule a tutor as well. So I have virtual tutoring all the way up to 8 o'clock at night. After 8 o'clock, let's say you're stuck and you can't get a hold of me because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm in bed and you're working on math. You can log into tutor.com through your Blackboard shell, and they'll have tutors there. Now, those are not tutors that I've hired, but that's a service that Calhoun pays for, and they can help you as well. And remember, all of this is free to you, because you are a Calhoun student. All right, academic integrity. We're in an online class, so I think it's very important for you to be thinking about your academic integrity. I do not have a proctoring system set up to proctor you during your tests, because it is my opinion that you are adults. If you're going to cheat, then it's going to come back to bite you in the next course that may have a proctoring set up. So it's on you. You're here, you're paying money to take a class and learn. And so if you want to cheat to try to learn, you're really not doing a whole lot of learning. So I want you thinking about that. I want you doing your own work. Now, for each test, you are able to use, you've got a calculator you can use. I've got formula pages that I always post that you're able to use. But I think it's important that you know that you don't need to get help from other websites or from your buddy down the street that's really good at math. Withdrawal policy. So we don't give with WPs and WFs, but you can withdraw from the course. But I highly, highly, highly recommend that you talk to, if you're on financial aid, you need to talk to them, and you need to talk to admissions before you, and your advisor before you drop a class. Also talk to me, because it may be that, you can still, pull out a C in this course and move on to the next course. So you need to have that conversation with me. If something happens and you do need to withdraw, the last day to withdraw in this mini term class is September 27th. Because remember, this class is going to end in early October, because it's a mini term. All right, Alex. Alex is a software that we use for our homework and our tests. There's a link in Blackboard to get to Alex. If Blackboard is down for any reason, you can go to alex.com, but that is very, very rare. If you've used Alex before, if you're repeating 98, you have a code from that 98 class. It could still be good. If you'll email me, I can look that up and see if you still have good access. If you're a new user, you're going to log in. You're going to go in through Blackboard. You're going to go through a registration process. I've got a document that you can click on that goes through the instructions, and you will put in a code for that. If you've already gotten your materials from the bookstore and you have your code, go ahead and put that code in. If not, don't fret, because remember, one of your first things that you need to do for attendance is do the initial knowledge check. So if you don't have your materials yet, that's fine, because I'm going to provide you with a code that will give you two weeks of free access. So Alex is an adaptive system. You go in and you take that initial knowledge check. Again, that's like a pre-test for the course. So that is all the topics that we're learning in Math 98. So do not be discouraged if there are things you don't know, because that's why you're taking this class. Okay, so take that knowledge check seriously. You can use a calculator on it, but don't look things up, because then that defeats the purpose of having homework. The homework is how you will earn your knowledge in this course. So Alex is mastery based. That means when you go in, you're going to have, let me skip a few. You're going to have a pie that looks like this. And as you learn parts of the course, as you finish up homework, this pie is going to darken in. And by the time we finish this course in October, you're going to have a nice, pretty, colorful pie. If you don't take the knowledge check seriously and you look things up, that pie would already be colored and you wouldn't have anything to practice, but you're still going to have to take tests. And you're going to get an email from me, and I'm going to ask you, hey, if you did this well on a knowledge check and you didn't have help, maybe we need to go ahead and move to 100. So I look at these and I'll make determinations of it. Do not be discouraged if you end up with just one topic in the middle of this. That's fine. Some of you are coming back to Calhoun after being out of school for many years. So it may be a long time since you've had algebra, if you had it at all. So don't be discouraged at how many you have. Just think about how it's going to build as we move on. All right, I'm going to back up one slide, and this is the other information. So again, I've got the instructions on logging into Alex. In my first announcement, there's a link with a document, although it's pretty intuitive. But going in through Blackboard, you do not need a course code. This code is your access code, okay? This is an access code, and it's got many more boxes than a course code would have, okay? The access code. So here is this is free for 2 weeks. This won't take you through the whole course. You've got to go and purchase that permanent code from the bookstore. Remember, the 18-week code. But this will get you through taking the initial knowledge check and get you through the first chapter for sure. So don't fret. If something happens, if you're on financial aid and something happens and you're going to run out of this 2 weeks, get in contact with me so we can figure something out. Again, the big thing is email me with questions. So again, you're going to get a pie that looks like this. That's how you'll work through homework. Some other things about Alex, when you start working on homework, you'll start with this start your path. Notice that on the left-hand side, it's going to tell you what chapter you're on, how many topics you've done, and when it's due. Once you start that path, you'll go to an explain page. And an explain page is very similar to seeing an example in a textbook. And so this is going to show you how to work the problem. Notice on the right side, you have these buttons. On all the problems, you are probably going to have a video option. You can watch a little bit of short video. These aren't my videos. My videos, remember, are in Blackboard. They're going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to go through a whole section. But they're great. I give you tips. But if you just want to see just a quick one on this one particular problem, you can go there. You could look at a textbook pages. You could look at a dictionary if there's words that you're not sure about. You can send me an email about this problem. Or you could print this problem. Now let me talk a little bit about the email. If you email me this problem, I will get the exact problem that you're working on. And I'll get the email in Alex, which is fine. I'll go into Alex and I have to answer you through Alex. If you use Remind and you have to join my class in Remind, it's part of your first week attendance, you would just take a snapshot in Remind and text it to me. And then I will probably respond to you a lot quicker in Remind than I would get in an email from Alex because it takes a minute for me to get those. So those are some tools you can use. So questions. I know you probably have them. There's, this is a lot of information, especially because you've got multiple classes during the first week of school. So the big thing is to email me if you have questions, join Remind, text me if you have questions. That's the big thing. I just need you to communicate with me. And if you have any problems whatsoever, I am here to help you. We're going to have weekly question sessions. I talked about those earlier. So we're going to vote on those during this first week. And so the days and times will be determined, and we will have those question sessions. Those are not mandatory, by the way. This first week, I have those mandatory orientation sessions that you've got to attend once out of the 3 that I'm offering. But the weekly sessions are not mandatory. They're for you to use to bring questions. All right, that's all I have for you right now. Please be sure and reach out if you are confused about anything because I'm here to help you. Hope we have a great semester.